another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. I'm your host, Sam Randazzo. I am joined today by my two absolutely advantageous co-hosts. To my right, it is the one and only Uncle Sam.
Balls.
And to my left, it is the very own Mr. Zolo, Mike Palazzolo.
Tits.
And behind the computer, creating a stew of his own goo, it is Bruce the Tugboat Venditti.
Taint.
You had the perfect opportunity to say ass, and you chose not to.
Ass was too generic.
Put your face back
drinking
on.
in Aladdin.
The people
today.
want to see your face.
It's the first
Did
time
you
I've
drink
had
the last
Aladdin.
Aladdin?
I'm drinking in Aladdin for the first time in about fucking 2 months.
How is it?
It's awful.
Are you prepared? Right? Are you feeling ready?
But it's awful, dude. This shit is poison. Go ahead.
Not. It's great. It's absolutely nice cherry slush. Shout out to Alani New. You need to sponsor us.
Yeah,
You need to sponsor us.
I don't care.
It's Wednesday. It's another fantasy frenzy upon us. Going into week 7. Lot of news to cover here. A lot of news to cover today. It's fantasy news.
It's big news day.
Big news day. We've got a Monday night game to recap and a Thursday night game to preview, per usual. But before we do that, Uncle Sam,
Don't ask.
how's your week going so
Great.
far? Any high points, low points, pits, peaks?
No.
Low point was the truck blowing up in the
Why
parking
are
lot
you
today.
asking me?
What do you mean?
Why are you asking me this?
Because this is what we do.
Well, how do you think I'm right now?
I don't know.
I drive this truck 3 fucking times and the goddamn trans line blows on it.
It blew.
I didn't even fucking do anything. I was parked.
And it just decided it was
Anyway,
done. It just decided it was
no heat. I had to buy a fucking $17 defroster to fucking stick to my windshield that keeps falling off because the suction cup can't hold it up.
shitty suction cup.
Yeah, it's a fucking joke.
All right, so what was
Anyway.
Hold on. We got to answer some of these questions before we lose them. I don't want to lose viewership here. So before
All
you
right,
tell the
fantasy
story,
frenzy, let's go. Go.
Drake May or Sam Darnold this week.
So Patriots against
Jacksonville in London.
and
Sam Darnold against the Lions at home.
I'd say Sam Darnold against the Lions.
I'm going to take Sam Darnold.
I
as
think
well.
Sam Darnold's more of a sure thing than Drake May is this week for
Yeah.
sure.
I agree. Let's keep it going. Next.
The next one, and then we have one after that. But the next one is Terry and Tracy for Marv. I'm assuming that's Scary Terry McLaurin for Tyrone Tracy and Marvin Harrison. I'm going to jump on this one first. No, I'm not doing that. I'm keeping Tyrone Tracy and Terry McLaurin. I think Terry McLaurin's the number one pass catching option in a pass happy offense right now for Jaden Daniels, and I think Tyrone Tracy could be a league winner at the moment. That's just my opinion. And Maserati Marv
if he
struggling.
plays.
Tyrone Tracy's been playing.
Yeah, but if he goes going forward,
They can't outsnap him. They cannot outsnap him. I think it'd be stupid. Go ahead. Speak, Uncle Sam. Go ahead.
no, I just think I like him too. The problem is he's a backup.
Who do you, let me break it down this way. Who do you like better between Terry McLaurin and Marvin Harrison?
Oh, McLaurin.
Yeah. I mean, you win right there.
Listen, McLaurin's been underrated. The guy really hasn't had a quarterback throwing to him,
Got one now.
but now he has one and see the difference in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd have to.
Big
stick-
difference.
I love McLaurin right
And
now.
I was the Sam. I actually did not mind Sam Howell, but I just think you know what, McLaurin is a very good receiver.
I agree.
Very good.
Sam?
I love McLaurin. I think right now, at this moment, I would take McLaurin over Marvin Harrison because I like the offense better. Arizona's looked a touch dysfunctional as of late, so I'm not huge on that. And Tyrone Tracy, I'm not as high as I was because I think Singletary coming back this
It's
week
going to affect his.
is going to
usage.
affect his share.
Yes.
But I would not be shocked if at the end of the
50-50
year,
split.
I think it could go heavier towards Tracy.
Yeah.
You be trying to sell high for a player that doesn't have crazy upside until we see more from Kyler. Like I love the upside for the two players that you already have more than I like Marvin Harrison's upside.
I agree.
Worth trading Devontae Smith and Hubbard, one bench, one flex for Tyreek Hill, planning for playoffs. Okay, on paper, Tua could be back as soon as next week, right? That's a big if. It's a big if that he doesn't get injured again. So I don't know. I
if
think
he's going to be back, why are they going to waste their time going to the fucking street then? From what I'm hearing, they're looking for a fucking another quarterback.
Are they?
Somebody to have
Yeah.
behind him.
A body.
I don't know, dude.
My answer to that is no.
He should have been back already.
same-
I don't buy any of it.
Same drill. My answer to that is no at the moment. That could change in a couple weeks if you're planning for the playoffs. I don't know what your other running backs are. He says he's 6-0 and he doesn't need wins right now. This is Hank on TikTok. Shout out to Hank.
Go ahead and do it.
I think Chuba Hubbard is again the best piece, and
Brooks just started practicing today.
he started practicing, but that doesn't mean shit. Chuba Hubbard's running better than anyone. It's a rookie running back coming off of an injury.
That is true.
The rookie running backs always take time. They don't come in and just go. They don't get thrown right to the flames, in my opinion. So the trade is Devontae Smith and Chuba Hubbard for Tyreek Hill. No, right now I'm not doing that. I'd have to see what your other receivers are, but I like Chuba Hubbard and your running backs. I'd like to see your running backs, but I like Chuba Hubbard better than any piece that you named in that deal.
You want to know how I'm looking at this?
Hey, you don't have to do that, dude. You can make that a lot fucking smaller than what it is. That's not even funny.
Okay. Either way, you know what? The way I'm looking at
No.
this right now is as a Tyreek owner, I would take that trade.
Yeah,
So you probably shouldn't do it.
So you're on the better end of that deal. That's a
Right.
really great perspective.
Yep.
Really great perspective. Start Pickens, Juju, or Douglas at flex.
Pickens, Juju.
Juju.
Yeah, right now it could be Juju. So who is it? The Niners this
just
week?
because I think that Mahomes kind of he trusts Juju more than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I would say him.
Don't love I don't love the Pickens matchup this week.
Pickens probably draws.
Pickens can't get the
Sauce
ball.
Gardner,
because,
right? Is he injured still? No.
Here's the thing, though. Pickens, he's not getting the fucking looks because the ball can't get to him. That's the problem.
And who's the third option?
Douglas. I assume this is Demario Douglas.
Fuck no.
So I would assume right now that Russ is starting this week.
We still don't have anything conclusive.
He's been doing all the first
No,
team
it
snaps.
sounds like Russ is going to
Yeah.
start this week, rightfully so. And I think Russ is a boost to Pickens. I think that's one of the reasons why I want to see Russell Wilson
I
run
agree.
that offense to see what it does for the pass catchers. Yeah, it's tricky with Juju against the Niners, but the Niners D's been suspect. I'm with you guys. You both said Juju?
Yeah.
It's a toss up between Juju or Pickens. I like Pickens if Russ is for sure starting, but right now it's Juju. Just traded away Chase and Pollard for Henry and Hill. Henry Hill is one of my all-time favorite movie characters.
Agreed.
He's not a character.
Jamar
He's an
Chase and
actual
Tony
person.
Pollard. Yeah, he's an actual person. Well, it's he has a different name. Henry Hill is a
Henry Hill
different
is an
name.
actual name.
Chase,
I thought it was a different person.
No.
Chase and Pollard.
For Henry and Hill, I assume that's Hunter Henry and Tyreek Hill. I don't love that.
Or is it
No.
Derrick Henry?
Is it Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry and Tyreek.
Oh, yeah, maybe. That's a little different if it's Derrick Henry. If it's Derrick Henry, I like that because you're getting RB1 or 2 with
If it's
who's had crazy upside all
Right.
year.
I would have traded Jamar. That's a Jamar owner. I would trade Jamar for Tyreek and Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry will win you. Derrick Henry. If you have one of
By
Derrick
himself,
Henry,
he's going to win you 2 games.
Derrick Henry, Kamara, or Saquon, they're next to untradeable.
Yeah, well, he traded him.
Traded him.
Kyle says he's going to start Juju. I think Pickens could get going with Russ down the line. I agree with that. We agree with that. Stylish Check asked you a question earlier and wanted to bring it up now.
Okay.
But Stylish Check is curious to know if the fantasy draft happened today, who would go top 5?
Ooh, this is a good one. For me, Henry Kamara, Barkley are your pretty much your 1, 2, 3. And then if you want to go deeper from there, I think you have to consider Kyron Williams.
Yep.
And then Chase. If it happened today,
Aaron Jones.
he's out for the year. Right now, my 1, 2, 3 would be Henry 1, Kamara 2, Barkley 3, Chase 4, and honest to God, probably Kyron Williams 5. With injuries, Kyron Williams would be my 5th. And then I think you have Jefferson, Diggs as right there behind them with Jordan Mason
Diggs
and
was taken
Montgomery.
late, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Jordan Mason and Montgomery there to wrap out your top 10. But the top 3 running backs, Jamar Chase, and then I think Kyron Williams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Montgomery could be in that conversation.
So
top 5.
For me, I'll go 3. I'll go 3 and 3. I'll go one more, 3 at each position. Kamara, who's I think fantasy player number 1 right now in the
2.
flex. He's 2. Who does yours have as number 1?
Number 1 flex option is Henry, or no, Jamar Chase is 1. Oh no, total points. Hold on, let me.
I'm doing total points. Yeah.
Total points. It's Henry, Kamara, Chase, Shaheed, Godwin, Barkley.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Kamara, Henry, and Saquon.
Yeah.
And then from there, like I think that there's drop-offs of players that
Yeah.
wouldn't make sense. So if we're redrafting from there, then it would be Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, even though he's injured, and then Drake London.
Yeah.
I think those are the guys. Jaden Reed, there's going to be a drop-off. Chris Godwin, there's eventually going to be a drop-off.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Chris Godwin, he's got an MVP quarterback, so maybe Chris Godwin does sustain. But
I think Chris Godwin finishes top 10 at his position.
he can't not at this point if he stays healthy.
You?
Maybe higher.
Any insight there?
What are you going to do? The fucking injuries have happened.
Right.
You got the
We're
first
talking-
overall pick that everybody was picking, and it hasn't even seen the field yet. What the fuck, dude?
Besides Dark Human knew not to take him.
Whatever, dude.
AR.
Whatever.
Michael Camarena, tell us who AR is. He says thoughts about AR for the
Anthony
rest of
Richardson.
Great point. I'm getting lower by the week. If it's actually Anthony Richardson, I'm getting lower by the week. And this is someone that was very high on the Colts and very high on Anthony Richardson going into the offseason. I drafted him in another 2 quarterback league, and I've lost 4 straight weeks because what a coincidence. Anthony Richardson either hasn't played or hasn't been good in those 4 weeks.
And if he plays, can't finish the fucking game. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's bad.
Fucking joke.
It's bad. It sounds like he's going to start this week, so jury's out, but
If you can't
I'm
get your
not good.
hands, if you own Richardson, I'm at the point where I'm not starting him. I'm probably dropping him. And if you could go out there and get, I mean, we're in a very deep league, but like, there's a lot. If somebody probably already picked up Flacco, but like, right now, would you rather have Trevor Lawrence or Anthony Richardson? Going forward.
Lawrence.
Trevor
I would take
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
I would
over
take
him.
Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is only owned in 34% of leagues.
Say what you want to say about Lawrence. He's consistent.
Would you take Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones going forward?
I would take Daniel Jones over
Daniel
him.
Jones. Right
Daniel
now.
Jones only owned in 22% of leagues. I mean, you have
The
to
thing
sit
about
there-
Daniel Jones is at least he's somewhat durable. So
What would you take, Bo Nix or Anthony Richardson right now? Going forward,
Bo Nix right now.
only
Yeah.
owned in 50%
as of right
leagues.
now, Bo Nix.
So I mean, you have options out there, and I would start to pursue those options instead of continuing to go with Anthony Richardson.
What do you think is the problem with Richardson?
I don't think he's in a offense that suits him. I don't think
Agree.
it's playing to his strengths, and that's why he feels forced to run. They're not relying on their playmakers as much as they should be, which some of them are injured, but like the offense should be him passing to Pittman and 2 downs.
But it's almost like they're supposed to be using Jonathan Taylor to open all this up.
Jonathan Taylor's been hurt too,
And he's been banged up,
Yeah.
but they haven't done that. They haven't been able to do that.
I have a couple of questions in front of me. Can we jump for a second?
yeah,
Which trade had a bigger fantasy impact, and who came out better? The Devontae Adams owner after him being traded to the Jets, or the Amari Cooper owner being traded to the Bills?
can I take it?
Have at it. I have thoughts too.
Can I take it?
Yeah.
I'm going to be the odd one out, and I'm going to say Amari Cooper to the Bills.
I agree with you, without question.
I think it's Amari Cooper to the Bills because he provides something that Josh Allen has not had before, which is an X
Well,
wide
since
receiver.
Diggs has been gone.
No, an actual guy that you could throw the ball up to right now.
What do you use to describe Amari Cooper and Tyler Lockett?
He's the consummate professional.
Exactly. And Diggs was not
and
that.
he's never had that.
The consistent, reliable guy who's it's not going to light it up, but he will
Well, here,
always be there.
I can tell you who he's comparable to, Mike Evans.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Murray Cooper,
great
Mike
comp.
Evans.
Great comp.
Great
They're
comp.
consummate pro. They're the guy that's always going to be there for you. They're going to get 1,000 yards a year if you're not Deshaun Watson and forgot how to throw it to him.
100%. If you are the Amari Cooper owner, you won the day yesterday. I think he's going to.
How Deshaun Watson has gotten away with 1.5 years of not even looking the guy's way is unfucking fathomable.
You're a big Amari Cooper guy. Do you
Yes.
like this spot he's in now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's and the other thing.
I
how do you
think this is
he
better
feels,
than the
dude?
Chiefs.
How
I
do you think this guy
agree.
feels?
I think this is a better landing spot than the Chiefs.
Agreed.
Yeah.
This was best case scenario for
Yeah.
him.
It makes me higher on the Bills too, by the way.
100%.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was going to say is he is the bona fide, without question, number one guy in
So
Buffalo.
you know who is going to flourish from this? Whoever's got Shakir better fucking jump
I
on
do
that
think
shit.
it will benefit
Because
Shakir.
he's going to be the next. He doesn't play for New Orleans, but if he did, he would be Shaheed.
Well,
And
Shakir and Shaheed.
They're the same play.
yes,
they're the same
they are
player.
very
They're
similar.
the same religion.
The other thing I will say, again, Cooper's the bona fide number one
Correct.
in Buffalo. As much as this will benefit the Jets and Devontae Adams,
Oh, absolutely.
It's-
Garrett Wilson.
it's 1A
Actually,
and 1B.
this is going to be
versus a
very
bona fide
good
number
for him.
one. I agree.
Because now you can't just triple team him like teams have been doing.
Correct.
So this will open up Garrett Wilson having a guy like Devontae Adams on the other side of him to draw some heat.
I have a quick follow up on this. Is there anybody in Cleveland that's going to pick up that target share that's worth adding?
What do you want, Jerry Jeudy?
Well, I mean, he's their number one now, and then you have
Who's the other kid? that got-
Jalen Darden behind him,
No,
Elijah Moore, who's hurt now.
Elijah Moore, who's hurt now.
I don't think there's anybody viable there that's worth seeking.
I'm all set on Cleveland.
Yeah.
Trade Myles Garrett here. Man up. No. And can we go back real quick on Garrett Wilson and going
Yes.
back on the Jets? You could put lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig.
Okay, actually, we didn't even go through Monday night.
Let's do it right now.
Let's do that right now while we're here. While I'm pulling this up, is there anybody on Vegas? Because again, we're very low on Vegas that you think is that's worth an ad based on Devontae Adams no longer being there.
No.
You don't think you wouldn't seek out Jacoby Myers?
He's probably rostered on most teams to begin with. But
He's
Yeah.
rostered on 69%.
I think it ups
Who's the
it for
other kid
him.
they've been throwing the ball to? Tucker?
Trey Tucker,
Tucker.
who has the exact same amount of points as Myers.
I think so long as Aiden O'Connell is the one throwing the ball, I'm not
Yeah.
interested in anything that's going on, except for Brock Bowers, of
Brock
course.
Bowers is a bomb.
Brock Bowers, because
I
he's going to
have
get the
him.
targets. He's going to make the plays.
Jumping to Monday night, and I want to spend like 2 or 3 minutes
Excellent.
here. Buffalo beat the Jets 23-20. It was all you saw online was how bad the referees were in this game. Your guys' thoughts?
I will say this, dude, and
You did.
I've
pick the
never
Allen
seen
Lazard
so many
anytime.
flags thrown on one fucking team in my life.
You picked the Allen Lazard anytime.
Yes, I did.
They indeed got Brees Hall going.
Yeah.
They got Garrett Wilson going.
You know what the problem was? They could not protect Aaron Rodgers.
Well,
My
just didn't
man
look
was
good.
getting, you know what? I haven't seen a beating like that since Brett Favre when they played when the Vikings played this. What was it, the Saints in that playoff game when he looked like he got the shit beat out of him behind the fucking stadium. That's what it looked like. They can't protect him.
Watching the highlights from this game, I thought that Ray Davis actually looked pretty fucking good. And
He was all right,
but
he
you
was
could,
okay.
They missed James Cook. They
Yes,
missed James Cook.
their offense was not flowing like it normally would.
No.
Yes,
No.
you're right.
But
I'm all set on the Jets.
do you think that the Devontae Adams thing
I
moves the bar?
think it will make a difference offensively for them. Yes.
How many instances of this recreating of the wheel have actually worked out? Like, you can kind of make a case for Brady and Gronk, and it really didn't.
It works for a year.
It did it, though. But Gronk didn't really play a whole lot. He had a good playoff the year they won the Super Bowl. He did.
Hey, if you remember, he didn't come in till late.
Yeah.
Week
And
7,
when he
right?
did, he dominated the whole fucking
Oh,
end of that.
That's it.
It was his blocking in the running game that took them over the top.
This doesn't usually work, and I think it overshadowed. Like, I think Garrett Wilson is so, and I know it's Devontae Adams, I know it's Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball, whatever. I think this does damage to Garrett Wilson. I disagree
I
with
don't.
you guys
I don't.
because I mean, they're already going up against teams that are manhandling that, like bad teams. Or I don't think this helps. I don't think it. You would have won the
How
other
many
night.
times did you see guys coming clean on Aaron Rodgers? How many? Did you watch it?
Then go get an offensive
Did you watch
lineman.
it or
Don't-
no?
Their
don't get-
offensive line is
then
Dude, it
don't
was
get-
fucking awful.
Then don't get Devontae Adams. Get an offensive lineman.
What's his name? The guy who's played for the fucking Cowboys.
Tyron Smith.
Tyron Smith. Dude, my man
He's washed.
is not got it
He's
anymore.
fucking washed.
They need to get him the fuck out of there. He's going to get Rodgers killed. Killed.
So for you, the Devontae Adams thing does not.
No, I'm
I think it
pissed.
helps.
I'm
You think
pissed,
it helps.
especially because I was so high on the Jets and I still thought they had a chance and they choked that game away. And I don't know. I think the Bills got better, and on paper the Jets got better. But like, come on, you have all these guys and you still can't figure it out. You had Garrett Wilson, you still couldn't figure it out. You're still giving the ball to Allen Lazard, and I don't think that it's going to shift. And now everyone's going to pay attention to Devontae Adams, and then Garrett Wilson becomes Allen Lazard. No, I think it's an Aaron Rodgers problem. I think it's a protection problem, like you said.
Big protection.
I think they can't protect him, and that's the
And I still
problem.
don't think their defense looks good.
No,
now,
it doesn't.
now you have an option.
It doesn't.
Now you have an option here to where you could run multiple tight ends to help protect, because the protection is a fucking huge.
Speaking of multiple tight ends, they blew it to begin with, especially because they didn't start their offensive lineman that they drafted from the start. I think they drafted Olu Fashanu from Penn State,
Yeah.
who's starting now because of an injury, because Morgan
Right.
Moses got injured. But how good would Brock Bowers look there?
Oh,
And that was he was linked to them the entire process.
you did.
He was linked to them the
did.
entire process, and that's who they could use, not Devontae Adams, a blocking and pass catching tight end. And here we are. Your Aaron Rodgers is on his ass, and
Yep.
they don't look good. So I don't know. I need to see the Jets play really well. They needed that game. They didn't get it. I'm all set on the Jets right now.
Anybody think any differently on the Bills?
After the win,
They didn't look very good.
no, don't. But after the trade, after the win, no. After the trade, yes.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I want to jump to YouTube real quick. Or is there TikTok?
No,
to address?
YouTube,
Okay.
is where the place to be right now.
All right. I have a lot of receivers and want to offload some. Should I trade Ayuk and Tank Dell, and D'Ernest Johnson for Pickens and Marvin Harrison?
No,
I'm not trading Tank Dell right now.
I'm not trading Ayuk right now. Ayuk's getting hotter every single week. Every single week. I love Niners pass catchers right now.
Would you take right now? Do you take Ayuk over Marvin Harrison?
Yes.
You?
Here's
Is it a
the thing.
push?
The Harrison thing right now is tricky, because the minute you're going to say that, because I have him,
He'll pop off.
I'm thinking about dumping him, and something's telling me don't do it yet, because something's going to happen. Here's what happened. He put 1 point up the first week, then came back and had a
26 or 27.
fucking 26 points in the first quarter the next game.
Okay, you
So-
own Marvin Harrison. If
Right.
somebody offered you him straight up for Ayuk right now, would you take it?
Yes.
You would take Ayuk.
Yes.
Okay. Would
Just
you
because,
take
just because he's on a more consistent team, more consistent offense?
if you owned Pickens? Would you trade him straight up for Tank Dell right now?
I like Tank Dell with Nico
I like Tank
Collins
Dell.
out.
too.
I love Tank Dell with
Nico Collins out, I like Tank Dell.
And does D'Ernest Johnson move the needle on anybody for that?
No.
Who
No.
does he play for?
No.
Jacksonville?
Because he's so.
Because ETN.
So ETN's week to week, right? Bigsby, who did get the bulk of the snaps the other day, coming off of a very good game 2 weeks ago against the Colts, Bigsby did get the bulk of the snaps against the Bears and didn't do much. You know, I
He
don't
runs
love.
hard. I really like Big.
He's good.
I like the way he runs the football.
yeah, but their offensive line.
He runs
Yeah,
hard.
and for that reason, ETN's the pass catching back, and he's more suited for that offense, and it's just all in disarray right now. Need to see them coming out of the bye. D'Ernest Johnson doesn't move the needle for me at the moment.
Will, at the end of the day, you have the two better players. So don't just do the trade to offload D'Ernest Johnson. If you really don't like him that bad, just dump him.
I want to answer Sarah's question real quick, Susie. She says, my fantasy question is, does Chris think I'm stupid? There's context. She's in, I think, second place in her league, and she was offered, here, tell me who gets the better end of this trade. Team A gets Saquon, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Mike Evans. Team B gets Justin Fields, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Brandon Ayuk, and Rico Dowdle. Who wins?
First team won.
Okay, so that's Sarah's team, and someone's trying to fleece her, and she wants to know if this person thinks that she's stupid. The answer is yes.
Yes.
He thinks
Absolutely, they think you're stupid.
he thinks you're stupid.
Saquon Barkley is physically untradeable. Jumping back. I get Nico Collins, Garrett Wilson, James Cook, and Brendan Aubrey. I give Jamar Chase, Kenneth Walker, and Evan McPherson. I already have Tyreek Hill and Jonathan Taylor. I'm 4-2. The opponent I am trading with is 1-5. If you are 4-2 and you own Jamar Chase, Kenneth Walker, Tyreek Hill, and
Go
Jonathan
the other way. I
Taylor,
can't see it. Fucked nuts.
there's people typing
Oh,
in.
sorry.
You are 4-2 and you own Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Kenneth Walker, Jonathan Taylor. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're just getting worse. You can't use Nico Collins. Garrett Wilson's is on the upswing, but I don't like Garrett Wilson more than anything in that trade. Just hold the line.
I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. You're 4-2. It depends on how long you can get by being that way. Nico
With
Collins is
Collins being
IR,
out.
right? Isn't he on IR?
Yeah.
So it's 4 weeks, 1 down or 2 down? I think it's 1 down.
One down.
1 down.
you
Garrett
gotta roll-
Wilson is wait and see. Like, it's already been anemic. I think he's not gonna do well. You guys think he's gonna do good. Either
He's
way,
done
it's
good
wait
the
and
last
see.
2 weeks.
But hold on.
He's
Now
been
you're rolling
outstanding.
instead of having Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill, you're going from Garrett Wilson and Tyreek Hill, who at this current moment I think both still have some question marks.
I don't, because I think, you know what? Here's the thing. Tua's going to be back here real soon and ready to go. So all these people that are panicking right now and trying to dump Tyreek Hill and dump all these other guys for the Dolphins, Waddle.
You don't know that.
And
You don't know it.
yeah,
You don't
well,
know
guess
it.
what? He's been gone already too long. I don't buy it. I don't know what they're doing. They can fuck off with their little fucking stepping around everything. This guy is not concussed to the point where he misses fucking 7 weeks of the season. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. Sorry. I don't buy it, NFL. I don't buy it.
I'm not. Let me keep Jamar Chase and Tyreek.
Whatever. Go ahead.
Maybe it's that old saying. If it ain't broke, don't break it.
Yeah.
That's very fair. That's where Sam's coming off. I do like the players on the other end, but you have a lot of like Garrett Wilson question marks, Nico Collins question marks, James Cook great when he plays question marks right now. Brandon Aubrey.
Again,
You
I can
wanna trade
relate
for kicker.
As a Tyreek owner, I went out and got Jamar Chase and traded Kamara to get some reliability.
What did you get in? What did you get back for it?
I got Chase.
Straight up.
I got Chase and Mahomes.
Well, you just answered your own question.
But Mahomes is quarterback 17.
It
was
you know
his
what?
backup.
You
He didn't do
know.
anything.
Look, wait a minute now. You know goddamn well by the end of the year he's not going to be 17.
Okay, he'll be
You need
12
to
or
stop.
13. I'm not worried
Be
about
in
it.
the top 5 at the end of the year.
No, I disagree.
I
Mahomes
don't.
is not a top 5 quarterback. Not in
Okay.
fantasy. Not in fantasy.
Neither
Where
was
we
Tom
at here?
Brady.
I got another question in my text.
Please hit me.
Shout out to Chuck. Chuck, if you could see this. Chuck owns Brees Hall and Devontae. Devontae Adams, obviously, so he's got 2 Jets now. After the trade, does he keep both or trade one?
He has Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson.
No, he's
Well,
Devontae
no,
Adams and
Brees
Brees
Hall.
Hall.
Brees Hall.
Devontae Adams and Brees Hall.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind having it at opposite positions, like having a running back and a receiver off the same offense. I don't like 2 receivers off the same offense.
I think this is where the discrepancy is between me and everyone else on the Jets right now, especially after the other night. Like, the Jets' offense to me was already good, and it hasn't played well. And I don't think Devontae Adams is the key to make it play well. Therefore, I just don't like. I don't. If you're keeping both of these guys, you're relying on the Jets' offense to be this big explosive. Not quite the Lions or the Niners, but you're relying on a point explosion that we've seen once this year against the Patriots, who are the worst team in football. That's what you're relying on. I do think if healthy, Brees Hall should still continue to be Brees Hall for the rest of the year. There's going to be games like where Devontae Adams pops off and Garrett Wilson doesn't, where Garrett Wilson pops off and Devontae Adams doesn't, and where neither of them pop off because Allen Lazard's getting 2 TD catches, you know? Whereas Brees Hall, at least, I think is going to consistently get his bag. He's going to consistently do it. I would trade Devontae Adams if you can.
If
I would
there's
try and
one-
sell high.
If there's one that you could trade, it's Devontae, and because there's so much hype around it right now. But like, who are you willing to take back? Like
That's also true. Like, you got to let the offer kind of
would
dictate
you
if you're gonna
take
make a
Debo?
deal. I would take Debo over Devontae Adams, yes. When Debo plays, he's
Would you
50
take Darnell
burger every
Mooney?
time. No.
Deontay Johnson.
Oh, no, because the upside. That's a tricky one.
JMO.
Same drill. Like, it's boom or bust. It's the same with Devontae Adams, though.
Okay, those are 20, 21, 22, and 23 in the rankings. So, but like, would you take DK Metcalf?
Over Devontae Adams, I would, yes.
McLaurin?
Yes. I would take McLaurin over Devontae Adams.
Amon-Ra?
Amon-Ra over Devontae Adams.
So 20. Like position rank 20 is your cutoff on yes, I will trade Devontae Adams. No, I will not. And I agree with that. Because if you go 220, it's Debo. And then you have a couple outliers like Kevontae Turpin and Juwan Jennings. But outside of that, it's all up and up. I would do that. If you could get a top 20 guy, I would do that. I have another question too. Is Etienne fucked all year unless he gets traded?
No. He's. I think there's a direct correlation with him being banged up in his last couple weeks. I think he's genuinely banged up, and it cost him reps. Like remember, a lot of Etienne's damage comes from pass catching reps. I think things should totally improve when Doug Peterson leaves because Tank Bigsby is a compliment. He's not supposed to come in and be better than Etienne.
Hold on a minute now.
Yeah.
I kind of agree to that to a sense. Etienne is more like a Jahmyr Gibb, where he should be used in certain situations. But as far as lining it up and trying to punch a team in the mouth, I think that's where Bixby should be in there. He should be focused more like a David Montgomery role. And why they haven't done that, I don't get it.
I
think
don't
they
disagree.
split their shit up the wrong way.
I don't disagree, but Etienne was doing that before Bigsby got there. Etienne was
No, I
doing
get that. But if you want to save this guy and actually keep him on the field every game, you need to do that. I think they should split carries, but you got to use them in the right way. Sort of like Ben Johnson uses Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibb. Not to say that Etienne can't run in between the tackles. He can. He's fucking effective. But for him to do it down in and down out, you're gonna kill him. He can't handle that pounding. Hello?
I've got one.
Neither can Bruce. Can't handle the pounding.
I have one more to address here.
Yeah.
If I own Xavier
Worthy?
should I trade him for Juju Smith-Schuster?
The upside's higher on Worthy. I think it's just a bad pass catching situation if your name isn't Travis Kelce in Kansas City. And even before this, they always throw the ball around to everyone. It was always hard to predict which running back and which receiver were going to have good games outside of Kelce. I think the Xavier Worthy upside is so high because of his speed, and he's got the best chance of taking over what Rashi Rice left.
Well, here's the thing. He's going to give you a 5 one week and then a 30 the next. Are you willing to roll that fucking dice?
Yeah, that's
the thing. Are you? He's either going to fucking win you easily, or you're going to struggle with this 5.
Yeah, but you want to know something? It's kind of the same. I think you're going to have a lot of the same thing with Juju as well.
I don't think so. I think Mahomes trusts Juju more, so he kind of looks for him more. Juju's not going to give you a 30-point game. He's gonna sit back there. He's gonna catch you. He's gonna catch 6 of 7 balls for 60 yards. That's what he's gonna do. So it's either you take the fucking 10 points from Juju, or you have an opportunity to get 30 from Worthy. That's your choice.
We got
either die slow or die hard.
We got another question in the YouTube chat. Should I trade James Conner and Juju? Did you ever think we'd be having conversations about Juju Smith-Schuster again?
No, I did not.
Patriots?
I thought he was going to be a Lion when he got released earlier this year.
God.
Trade James Conner and Juju for Pollard and Olave and a half-point PPR.
Olave's got a concussion.
No.
I don't like Pollard. I would much rather have James Conner than Tony Pollard.
Yeah, I'm keeping James Conner's the key. You focus on the key piece.
Actually,
before,
Pollard's
right?
played pretty well.
He's played well, but you're relying on a lot.
Yeah.
It's different every week, and he's not better. When
It's
James
not
Conner's
him, it's
going,
the
he's not
fucking
better than
team is
James
awful.
Conner.
And right now, today, as it sits, and I know
I'm sorry here. I don't know who Forever Eagles is.
it's probably just an Eagles fan watching the show.
Okay, but to trade,
Can we
Brock
hold on, we're
Bowers?
getting
What?
there. I'm
All
still
right,
talking
all
about.
I'm
the
excited for
first
that
one.
conversation.
I'm excited too
because
so
I
hold
had that
on.
problem.
The Olave thing, and his stock rose up a lot today because Rashid Shaheed's going to be out for the year. It looks like he's going to have knee surgery and miss the
Shaheed
rest
is?
of the year.
Oh,
yes.
He's
fuck.
got one of those. It's a meniscus issue. It's the same thing that happened to
I know about that stuff.
JJ McCarthy. If
He has-
if it's
I
a
know-
trim,
I know
does
about
he?
meniscus issues.
So if it's a trim, it's 4 weeks. If they have to completely redo the meniscus, then it's out for the rest of the year.
So
he's fine. Don't worry about it.
does that change your idea of Olave at all?
Olave's banged up right now.
I know,
and
yeah.
they have Spencer Rattler throwing to him.
I'm going Juju.
That's what scares me.
I'm going to hang on to Connor and Juju at the moment.
Same.
Forever Eagles, willing to trade Brock Bowers for Garrett Wilson. I own Dalton Kincaid.
If I was you, I would trade Dalton Kincaid and Garrett Wilson for Brock Bowers.
No.
No, I know that. I get it. No, the answer is no.
Can I piggyback off this?
Go ahead.
In my 2 quarterback league, my main league, I drafted well to the point where I have Bowers and Kittle. That's tight end 1 and 2, if my math is correct.
Correct.
There's 10 teams, and I'm trying like hell to trade Brock Bowers is the one that stands out. He's the one, and he's got good matchups down the stretch. But I've been trying, and I'm close, but he's not yielding me what I want. Like I'm not getting. I have it down to, so this week I'm gonna have to start one of those shitty Raiders quarterbacks. So in order to avoid that, I have it, and I need a running back. My running backs are Jahmyr Gibbs, ETN, and Najee Harris, who's injured right now. And I need a running back as well. I have it down to Bowers in one of my shitty Raiders quarterbacks because, there's a premium on quarterbacks in this league. Bowers in one of the shitty Raiders quarterbacks in exchange for Chuba Hubbard and Daniel Jones. And I think that's an even trade. The other person he needs to shake it up. And his other tight end, he has Goddard and Tucker Kraft. I think he has Tucker Kraft. Is it Tucker Kraft or Tyler?
Tucker Kraft.
And then Tyler Croft is the other one, right?
Tyler Croft.
So I'm trying like hell. And then another deal I had on the table, I could have taken this over the weekend, but it's not going to happen anymore. It's Khalil Shakir. Brees Hall, it's off the table now. And then I can't remember who the third name is for Brian Thomas and Bowers. Anyways, I'm trying to trade Bowers. Is that a good deal for Bowers? Bowers and shitty Raiders quarterback for Hubbard and Daniel Jones. And I need a second quarterback to start this week.
I would take it. This is why I think I would take it. At the end of the day, fantasy football is, as much as it is positional, it's points. And week in and week out, I think Garrett Wilson and Dalton Kincaid combined are going to get you more than Brock Bowers.
Combined. Yes.
I would do the so it's Bowers for Garrett Wilson. I would do that if you have Dalton Kincaid.
I agree.
Or I'm with Uncle Sam. If you can try and pawn off Dalton Kincaid on someone, I think Bowers is the better tight end than Dalton Kincaid. But
Right.
I don't know how your receivers look. If you need Garrett Wilson,
Well, here's
for
the
me,
Kincaid thing right now. All right, he's going to get targets taken away from him now.
True. He will lose targets.
With Amari Cooper there, he's not going to get as many targets as he has.
And
been.
he's in a 2 tight end offense.
Correct.
Whereas
So
Bowers is the number one target.
I don't know. Bowers is a one-man show over there. You know.
Yeah, but how? God, I just don't know how much longer the Raiders are going to sustain anything.
Well, listen, the one who's going to get the targets is tight end because he's closest to the quarterback. So
True. Dog shit.
That's-
Dog shit prime.
just kind of fucking 101, dude.
Let's check it on TikTok. Anything?
nothing on TikTok.
Nothing there at the moment?
What?
You're in the TikTok? Beautiful.
We can go back to the rest of the news.
Yeah, let's break that down at the moment. Okay, obviously, the Jets acquired Devontae Adams yesterday. Mike Williams absent from Jets practice today. As soon as it went down, the rumors started flying. What are we taking from this? Do you think Mike Williams is packing his bags?
Yeah.
I do too.
He skipped practice. Did you mention that he skipped practice today?
Yes, I did.
So I would say he's a little disgruntled right now.
I don't even know if it's disgruntled. I just think that's it. I mean, the Jets' offense right now, there's no room. There's no room.
They weren't
more
looking
wide
for him.
receivers.
They weren't looking for him.
They
to
weren't
be
really
going
looking his
anywhere.
way, anyways.
I agree.
I mean,
No.
like if we talk about this,
And
from-
the few games I've seen him playing, he does not look like the same guy that was in with the Chargers. He just does not look like it.
Talk about a guy that would thrive in Kansas City.
There you go.
Mike Williams.
Big body guy.
Big body guy.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions have called the Browns about the availability of Zadarius Smith.
No, not good enough.
I'm sorry?
Not good enough.
It's better than the option they've already done.
What's that?
Isaiah Thomas.
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who it is?
No.
Yeah, you do.
You mean the guy?
We've talked about him on the show.
Have we really?
Yeah, he was in the draft not last year, year before. The defensive end from Oklahoma.
He was very high on him coming out of Oklahoma.
And
Anyways, he was drafted by Cleveland, and of course, Cleveland has a plethora of defensive linemen, and my man hasn't been able to crack the starting role, so he's on the practice squad. So the Lions have signed him off the practice squad.
for me, it doesn't move the needle. A guy that's
Well,
on
there you
another
go.
team's
Well,
practice
here's
squad.
your replacement for either Hutchinson or, you know.
They inquired about someone else too, according to Jeremy Fowler,
And who's that?
Hassan Reddick.
Well, I've been saying that. Call the
It's
Jets.
it's not a fit. It's not a fit.
Why?
He's just not the set the edge defensive end that they need. They need the high.
I
motor
don't
guy.
agree with that at all.
He's not.
I don't agree with that at
I-
all.
I think he thrives best
He's
as
a
a
premier.
linebacker.
He's a premier pass rusher in this league. When he's on, he's on.
Can I tell you something?
Sure,
It's better than nothing.
absolutely.
If you can get him for the right price,
You
it's
think
better
he-
than
you
anything
think
else.
he's better than fucking what they got here right now?
Yes.
What's his name? Awuku.
Yeah.
Awuku, and who's the other guy?
Oku,
Josh
Oku,
Pascal.
Oku. I'm sick of
Are you
these-
gonna-
I'm-
you gonna
I
sit
struggle
there?
with the Nigerian names.
Are we gonna sit there and try to put Azarike outside and take him from the middle?
That
Is what
works.
we're gonna do?
Anzarike has been starting on the outside, but you need Aiden Hutchinson opposite Anzarike. That's the
Exactly.
problem. You need to go get the guy.
Your two starters are hurt. You gotta bring somebody in.
Yeah.
I agree.
And you got to bring somebody in that's noteworthy. I don't want to hear some guy off of the Cleveland Brown practice fucking squad. You got to bring a
Cincinnati.
guy in here.
He's with Cincinnati.
It doesn't matter, Cincinnati, Cleveland, fucking
Dog shit.
whatever. Dude. Dog shit is dog shit.
Sticking with the Lions'
Yeah.
offensive line news, they have signed Aleem McNeil to a 4-year, $97 million extension with $55 million guaranteed.
Love it.
Great deal.
Love it.
Sets the market. Great deal. It'll be a bargain, and I'm happy he got paid. I think he got the
Yeah.
fourth highest D tackle money.
There you go.
And you saw what he's capable of. I know a lot of people are curious to see what he does without Hutchinson. I think Aleem McNeil is an excellent player. And
Well, I
doesn't
mean,
need-
he basically did it in that game. I mean, come on, dude.
he had two
He showed
sacks.
you
He's
what he
incredible.
can do. He's the only guy that I seen that fucking stepped up in this game when it went fucking started to go south for him with the Hutchinson injury. He's the guy that stepped up. I mean, fuck, man. He deserves the money, dude. You know? So you got your core guys who've already signed here.
There's
Your
a-
core guys
there's a
are all
couple
signed
missing.
for the next.
There's a
fucking-
couple. There's 3 or 4 that they have to do just from that draft class. They have a chance to sign everyone from that draft class, that 2021
It's
draft
kind of
class,
crazy.
which is insane.
Normally you don't see
Which
that.
is absolutely insane. So Derek Barnes will probably get a contract. Anzarike.
I would hold up on the Derek Barnes.
They're gonna sign him. They've already.
I
They're
would-
talking about how they're working on it. So even if you would hold up, they're gonna sign him.
Because here we go again. Derek Barnes was hurt fucking last year in a championship game. Now he's hurt again. He's missed multiple games. It's not working out.
But he played a whole season last year before he got hurt. It is working out. He was
No,
good when
'cause
he's
he
here.
Missed a few games last season. He was hurt. So I don't know about his durability. So I wouldn't sign. Listen, as far as the linebacker core goes, dude, these guys are great for special teams and everything. But I would look to in this draft coming up here to really get something to put into place there because they're not effective. You're already going to lose Jack Campbell. He's going to start playing defensive end.
Anyways, Derek Barnes, they're going to sign Anzarike, and it's going to work out nicely with Anzarike because his deal's not going to come in as pricey for how well he's played. And then Hutchinson, eventually, they're gonna pick up the option. My guess is the Hutchinson thing gets done while he's injured. It's a no-brainer. And it's easy. You just set the market with Hutchinson. You just give him the top DM money, and he's a bargain by the time he gets back on the
They
field.
still have quite a few years left on his deal. Dude.
They'd have to pick up his option this summer, which is when they would give him a contract extension. His option.
They have a 5th-year option on him regardless.
Yeah,
Correct.
what they'll do is they'll
He's
pick
been
it
there,
up
what,
and then
2
sign
years?
him. This is his third year.
Third year.
So
this is
you
that he's
pick up
gonna miss.
you pick up the option after the third year.
Right.
So they'll pick it
Well,
up in the
I
summer.
mean, you could do that, or
They're going to pick up
can
his
wait.
5th-year option.
I would pick up the option on these guys and get them all locked in now.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
He's not working.
I just
so
some of the stuff I don't get. Do you really think Derek Barnes is a fucking premier linebacker in this league?
I think
Is it just me or no?
they're not looking for a premier linebacker. They're looking for the guy that fits their system, that fits their culture. And that's Derek Barnes.
He's
The reason they don't always sign people, they're looking for
Yeah.
a certain guy.
Yeah.
And Derek Barnes is. I mean,
Yeah.
he's played. I think Derek Barnes.
I thought
is the best linebacker.
Anzalone's the guy. He's the guy.
I think Anzalone is just. Gonna
I
get
don't think
replaced one
Rodriguez
day.
is the guy.
No.
I don't think fucking Barnes is the guy. Unless they get a Patrick Queen, I don't agree with any of it.
The last one who I haven't mentioned, who is also is he from that last draft? No, he's from last year.
Kirby
The
Joseph.
Hutchinson draft class is Kirby Joseph,
Correct.
who will get premier safety money and deserves premier safety money.
Do we think that Hutchinson's contract tops Nick Bosa?
I think it should.
It will.
I think it
So
should.
$35 million a year.
I think it'll come in around there. And again, that becomes a bargain
In 2 years.
in 2 years. So you have to set the market, which is what Brad Holmes does. It's what he likes to do, and he's
get it
keeping these
early.
guys. He's keeping these guys together. It makes sense now on Hutchinson because he can talk contract right now. They're gonna pick up his option, so you have a deal in place while he's injured, so he can just sign it, and you pick up the option. You get a bargain for 2 years on the end of his rookie deal, and then the contract kicks in. It all makes sense. Reeder will be off the books by then. Some guy like Anzalone will probably be gone by then. So it all makes sense now. The money's there if you get it done now.
I agree. Another piece of news from yesterday. The Texans traded running back Cam Akers to the Vikings.
What does that tell you?
That tells me Aaron Jones is a little bit more banged up than everybody thinks.
Well, it's that fucking hamstring, man. This is what kept him out 7 weeks last year. The fucking hamstring.
Giants took a blow to their offensive line yesterday. Andrew Thomas out for the rest of the season with a foot injury.
You're gonna love this.
That sucks.
You're gonna love this, Uncle Sam. He played. When Liz Frank injuries typically don't need surgery.
Yeah,
This one required immediate surgery. Which he had this morning.
right.
He played most of that game with a broken foot,
Yeah.
and was very effective in that game.
Oh,
Yeah.
And it sucks because since he's signed his deal, he's only played in half the games. And
Guess
it
what?
means a
I
lot
got
of the
something
Giants'
better to
problems.
tell you. You know, Frank Ragnow plays every year like that.
Oh
right?
yeah, he's played on one toe.
This guy, they're gonna cut his
Excuse
fucking
me.
toe off pretty soon.
4
He's gonna
toes.
look like Deion Sanders pretty soon, and he continues to play with it.
After trading for Amari Cooper yesterday, the Bills released Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Okay, let's
So,
go back to the Jets.
look-
Didn't know he was there.
No, he'll probably end up back in
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Also, along with this Amari Cooper trade, the Browns before this season converted $18.79 million of Amari Cooper's salary into signing bonus, which means the Bills
They
only
were
owe
looking to
him-
shop him anyway.
The Bills only owe him $800,000,
Oh wow,
so getting him for next to free for the rest of the year.
that's pretty good.
We have a few more questions to address here.
Okay.
Oh, one more piece of news. Tom Brady
Oh God.
has officially been approved as a minority owner for the Raiders.
I think he should lose his job as an analyst. There's too much of a
This is a
conflict
good
of interest.
conversation. This is a very good.
Too much of a
conversation.
conflict of interest.
Would
He
you
should
like
lose
to
his
run us
job.
down the list of all the things he can't do as an analyst now that he's a team
I
owner?
know some of them. I don't
Go ahead.
know them all. The only thing I know is that he cannot be judgmental of the NFL in any way. So I don't know how you can be an analyst and have your fucking opinions tied down to where you cannot speak about the NFL in any kind of negative way. I don't know how you could be an analyst and be able to do that. Not only that, he has access to things that probably owners should not have access to as far as information goes on teams and have to do your homework. That's why he should not be allowed to broadcast if he is going to be an owner of an NFL franchise.
So
He can't be allowed at another team's facility unless he's calling.
Exactly.
You want to know what the big one is? No, I don't think he could be allowed at another team's facility in general.
Well,
Period.
He's calling the game. He's allowed in the stadium.
That's
Oh yeah,
bullshit.
yeah.
Well,
But he can't.
While he's calling the game.
He's
The
not
real
allowed
big
at their
one?
practice facility.
Yeah, exactly.
Or any of their
Right.
The real big one is he can't sit in on production meetings the night before.
How the fuck is he gonna
He
do
can't
it?
talk to a coach and other players the night before.
Right.
What's the point?
What is the point?
What's the point? He needs the NFL. First things first. What kind of competitive advantage does he have by sitting in on a production meeting? Like, how much influence does he actually have with the Raiders? Number one.
Well, they did go on to say that the Raiders did come on to say that they plan to have him as a prominent voice in operations, and he is going to have a much bigger role than anyone thinks in all areas of the franchise, including
Well, see,
on
then
football.
he should not be allowed to do any kind of broadcasting. As far as unless he's doing it personally for the Raiders, he should not be allowed to do it. Hey, whatever that gay little thing you're putting on there is, you need to stop. Hello.
That's TikTok.
I don't know what that is. Stop doing it though. It's ugly.
Brady cannot tamper with any players or be involved in any trade talk.
Well, listen. There's too much opportunity for this to go south with him as a broadcaster.
And he also
wants
can't
to be
gamble.
owner, dude. I'm all for it. I'd rather see him in the box than Mark fucking Davis. Okay, I'm sure anybody would.
He also can't get.
And he's, you know what? Let's be brutally honest. He's dog shit when it comes to calling games. He's awful. Get the fuck out. You're as bad as Tony Romo and don't come back. Go fucking play your ownership role. Count all your fucking pennies and dollars and stay the fuck out of it, dude. Go be your owner and stay out of broadcasting. Stay off of TV. Stay out of the fucking limelight. Nobody cares, dude. It's done. It's over.
I
It's
care.
over.
I care.
Whatever. That's gay. Anyway.
Anything to add on that, or can we get back to
You
some
want to
questions?
you want to
Yeah, go
fucking
back to
subdue me for my language? Go ahead.
Let's finish up these last couple questions. We'll pick the Thursday night game.
Correct. I want to jump back to the forever Eagles question. He's willing to trade Brock Bowers for Garrett Wilson, owns Dalton Kincaid. His current receivers are DJ Moore, Watson,
Put that back up.
Christian Watson, Juju Smith-Schuster, Bud Means, Jerry Jeudy. I don't know who this other Wilson could be, and Trey Tucker. So your realistic receivers are Moore, Watson, and Juju. I want Garrett Wilson. Give me Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson adds to that.
Yes,
For sure. I
and
think
just-
Michael Wilson is his other receiver from the Cardinals.
Dalton Kincaid, trade Bowers for Garrett Wilson.
I would do that. You need Garrett Wilson.
You need Garrett Wilson. Jumping down, in a full PPR league, start 3. Brees, Montgomery, Pollard, and Jacobs. This is very simple.
Brees, Montgomery,
Brees, Montgomery,
Jacobs.
and Josh Jacobs. Any disagreement?
No.
No, not right now. Josh Jacobs was bad there for a second to justify Tony Pollard over him for a couple weeks, but no, if you have Josh Jacobs, you should start him because I think he's going to heat up with Aaron Jones back.
Do you think I should trade Tank Dell for Amari Cooper? Oh,
No.
Not right
yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
now. I don't
Not right
think
now.
so
I would.
I wouldn't.
I would.
Why?
No. Until Nico Collins comes back, the answer is no.
But Stephon Diggs is still there.
It doesn't matter.
This is the guy. You had a touchdown out of Tank Dell the other day in the first game without him. Like this was his coming out party finally.
But the only thing I'm worried about is that I really think that Amari Cooper could. If you look at Josh Allen's passing numbers this year, it is so unlike him to be where he is. And I really think Amari Cooper unlocks it. I really do. Listen to them because I'm probably going to be wrong about that. Guys, I need help. My wide receiver room is Barkley. Okay, he must mean my running back room. My running back room is Barkley, Hall, Kyron, Mixon, and Chubb. My God.
Yeah, if you can. Yeah, I like the question.
Should I
Should I
trade
trade
Mixon for
Mixon?
Devontae
Adams.
Adams?
Yes, 100%.
Without question.
If
You
you
don't
can-
need Joe Mixon.
If you can get that,
Because
yeah.
realistically, going forward, you're going to roll Barkley, Brees Hall, and Kyron Williams. Trade Joe Mixon. Get Devontae Adams in there.
Hold on a minute.
is this a 4-team league?
Hold on. Instead of trading Mixon, trade Barkley.
No.
No.
Yes. Trade Barkley.
Barkley's the number 3 running
for-
back.
Try to get Adams and get CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Realistically, Uncle Sam's not completely off. If you can get, you're talking about trading Mixon, who's your fourth of the running backs. There's got to be only 4 other people in this league. There's got to be 3 people in this league. Anyways, I would fish out what you can get for Saquon, Brees Hall, or
Hello.
Kieran Williams, especially Brees
You're
Hall.
going to get more for fucking Barkley than you will for Mixon.
Yeah, but
Mixon's production going forward, as long as he can stay healthy, it will be just as good as Barkley.
who are you willing to trade Barkley for? There's only like 3 or 4 people. If you can get Jamar Chase, sure.
Yeah, then do it.
Derrick Henry, sure.
Hey, if you can get somebody better than Adams, come on, dude. Why would you not use Barkley as the bait? You're not going to lose that much from Joe Mixon to Barkley. You're not going to lose that much.
Go get Justin Jefferson.
By the end of the year comes, you will not lose that much.
Take Barkley or take
Who do you
one of
think's going to
those.
finish better?
Take one of those top
The
3 and then
Texans
pair
or the fucking
Mixon.
Eagles?
But it's not. It doesn't. The team doesn't matter. The
And
player.
what
it's
matters
fantasy
is the
football.
production. Who do you trust going forward with production more? Is it Barkley or is it fucking Mixon?
Barkley.
I think Mixon.
No.
Yeah,
No.
it's my opinion.
What?
Huh?
Zolo.
Question. Oh, would it be fair if I did Monty and Mason for Williams? Is it is it Kieran Williams? Is it Jameson Williams?
I'm gonna guess we're going Kirwan here.
How long is Jordan Mason out?
It looks like it could be in the next 2 weeks. He's not going on IR. Let me double check. But I don't think it's going to be all that extensive. But for some
I
reason,
heard today that McCaffrey will be back next week.
It sounds like he'll be back within a month.
Next week.
It sounds like he'll be back very soon.
Yes.
AC joint sprain. The last news, he'll be limited in practice Wednesday.
So he practiced already with an AC.
He was
joint
limited
sprain.
with that.
He practiced on a Wednesday though.
And they're
Yeah.
playing Kansas City. He's playing.
He's playing.
He's playing this week. He's going to get as many good games in before McCaffrey comes back so he goes somewhere good next
You know, there's a situation where you can try and sell high on Jordan Mason. I do think David Montgomery is going to continue, as long as he's healthy, is going to continue to do what he's been doing.
Death taxes and David Montgomery anytime.
Well, that's the only catch with David Montgomery is his numbers are touchdown dependent at the moment. Because otherwise you're just looking at 60, 70 yards and no passes caught. But
Listen,
but
he's the MVP of the Detroit Lions.
I'm not here to argue that. I'm just telling you
I'm
where
just
his
telling
fantasy
you.
numbers are. That's all.
He's the MVP of the Detroit Lions.
Baker or Hurts.
Baker.
Fuck bait.
Yeah,
Baker.
I mean he's a MVP
Baker
candidate.
all day.
Baker Mayfield's a top 3 player in the league at the moment offensively. So it's Baker. And until Jalen Hurts somehow returns to form, which he might, and you're going to get
Yeah.
rushing stats,
Yeah.
he might. But right now, Baker Mayfield is just playing on a different planet than a lot of other quarterbacks.
And he's got
Baker Mayfield.
two solid receivers that aren't injured.
I agree. Shall we pick Thursday?
Yeah.
No.
Let's do it. Tomorrow night's matchup is a doozy. The Denver Broncos are heading down to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Denver, a 2.5-point favorite in this one over the 2-4 Saints. Over-under is a whopping 37. We get to see more of the Rattler, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
We get to see some more Spencer
Now, is this
Rattler.
the first game that Sean Payton is back in New
Yeah.
Orleans?
Yes,
it is. No,
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
interesting.
I'm sure that'll be a nice, fun ovation.
Uncle Sam, Denver, 2.5-point favorite. Over-under 36.5 now. No Rashid Shaheed.
No Chris Olave.
No,
No Chris
Olave, he's
Olave.
got a fucking concussion.
No Derek Carr, and I believe the last time I checked, Kamara was extremely limited in practice this week so far.
Yeah, he's playing.
He
He'll play.
practice fully today.
There you go. He's playing. Something's telling me to take fucking Denver in this. I'm gonna take Denver. I'm gonna take Denver and the over. I think they could fall into some points in this.
I want to look at a full injury report for this and make sure I'm not missing
Yeah.
anybody here.
I'll pick it in the meantime.
Surtain is out.
Surtain's out. Yep, that's a big one.
That's big.
Olave out. Shaheed out.
Yeah, but they don't have.
Carr out.
Their secondary is good without Surtain.
I know.
Cesar Ruiz out.
Okay.
Taysom Hill out.
Denver to win. Denver to cover the 2.5. I like the under. I think this is not going to be a good Thursday night game like they've been.
I think they could fall into some points. That's why I said the over.
They could.
You know.
They could. I don't really see it.
Who's
with, I don't know. I struggle, and I don't. And on top of that, I don't think that either Dennis Allen or Sean Payton are going to let rookie quarterbacks do damage. So I like both of these quarterbacks. You could parlay this. Both of these quarterbacks take their under in yards. Under 182.5 for Rattler. Under 191.5 for Bo Nix. It's not posted yet, and I don't know when it will be. But whatever Bub Means' receptions
God
are,
damn it.
go ahead. You can take it.
No, take it.
Just
Take
endorse it.
Take
Just
it. I'm
it just means
co-signing
more.
it. I'm co-signing.
It's not even on there, but if you can get Bub Means over 3.5 receptions, it'll probably be closer to 4.5 or 5.5, even maybe probably 4.5. You can get Bub Means over 3.5 receptions. I would take that.
Give me all the Bub means.
That's
Bub
about
Means
all.
anytime,
I don't like anything. I don't like Denver pass catchers. I don't like anything offensively in this game except for maybe Bub Means. And maybe some turnovers. How about Spencer Rattler over 0.5 interceptions?
Okay. I'm going to take the Saints in this game. I don't know why. I'm going to pull a Bruce. I don't know why. Something's just telling me. I think Denver's been really hot and cold, back and forth. Thursday night game. Something's just telling me that the Saints pull this one out. The Saints desperately need a win as well. And I think Denver looked fantastic.
You know what? You were the one who said at the beginning of the year that the Saints had them 2 great games, and you said the wheels were going to come off. They came off. I don't think they're going back on. Without Carr, they haven't got a fucking chance.
But see, this
The
is
Spencer Rattler guy looks like Bruce with an afro. It's not going to happen.
This is a winnable
It's not going to
game
fucking
for-
happen.
This is a winnable game for
Not
the
going to
Saints.
happen.
I don't know how many more come down the line like this. I think Bo Nix does a little pants shit. I think that the Saints are kind of due to get one. Give me Alvin Kamara over 108.5 all-purpose yards. Give me the Bub Means anytime. Give me the over in this game, and I'm going to take New Orleans money line. Jeff?
I'm going with Denver in the over with Javante playing. Let's go with the Javante anytime.
Javante anytime. Did you do an
Did that hit last
I
week?
have not.
Who's
I
your
think
anytime
that hit last
touchdown?
week. Did it?
My anytime
Yes, it
touchdown,
did.
this might surprise you. Jameel McLaughlin.
Julian
Anytime,
McLaughlin,
whatever
baby.
his fucking name is.
Real
Anytime touchdown.
Real quick, should I start Monty or Hubbard this week? I love everything about the Panthers offense, but if you have David Montgomery, you're starting him until he gets
Absolutely.
injured.
He is an automatic death, taxes, David Montgomery anytime.
And I traded him.
Should I
Fucking
keep
idiot.
Should I keep Sam Darnold rest of the season and trade Mahomes? It depends. I personally think the wheels are going to eventually fall off on the Vikings, and I do think it's one injury away, just like last year. That being said, if you can get a good deal for Mahomes and you can scavenge another quarterback coming back maybe, or find another quarterback somewhere else just to back up Sam Darnold, yeah, it depends on what you can get from Mahomes. You'd have to sell low, right? Because Mahomes' value isn't great right now. I think he's QB 11 or 12 or something like
Yeah,
that.
but you want to know what's fucked up?
I would run with Sam Darnold.
No, Mahomes is quarterback 17.
17, excuse me.
He's
Okay.
not going to finish the year there.
He won't finish
Guaranteed.
the year there, but he's not going to finish the year top 10. I would trade Mahomes if you could. And the whole thing is you will get more back probably for Mahomes than you would for Sam Darnold, just because everybody thinks the same way he does, and Mahomes is going to finish the year top 5 quarterback because the road to the Super Bowl goes through Arrowhead.
That's it.
I'm going up against Henry and Kamara this week. I have Saquon and Montgomery.
Okay.
Should I play Hunt at flex?
Kareem Hunt. Yeah.
I don't know
You're
what
going
the first,
against Derrick Henry and Kamara. I have Saquon and Montgomery.
I don't know what this has to do with anything.
Should I play Hunt at flex? Yes, Kareem Hunt's
Yes.
a great flex
You
play.
got
this
Kareem
year.
Hunt. Put him at flex.
Great flex play.
What?
Got
what?
another one on TikTok.
Go.
Read-
This is the
read
last
it,
one.
read it, Bruce.
Hit it, Bruce.
I picked Jaden Daniels up from waivers. LMAO.
What?
Had Hurts beforehand. It's not a question. He was just adding.
And what fucking league is he playing in? That fucking
adding
Jaden Daniels is on waivers.
By the same league where the guy's got the top 5 running backs all on his team.
Okay.
Also, Nick Sirianni was at practice today listening to Many Men by 50 Cent.
Anyway,
Sounds like he's gonna get shot soon.
Yeah.
you better watch it. You're gonna wind up like Tupac.
Anything to add?
Huh?
Anything to add?
Balls.
Anything to add?
Nipples.
Bruce, anything to add?
Ass.
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. We'll be back on Friday to pick all of the Week 7 games. Make sure to follow us on our socials, Instagram and Twitter at Tip Balls, TikTok at Tip Balls Podcast. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Music, which you probably aren't, because Bruce won't get this episode up for 3 to 4 business weeks, check us out on YouTube. Remember to click subscribe. Ring that bell so you get notified when we go live. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, sometime around 5. We're also live on TikTok, too, where you can join us in the chat at the same time. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you guys on Friday.